Oh my, see, you got to learn to have a good time every day. No matter how much money you're making, what kind of job you got, what kind of house you live in, we all have a day that comes along where on that day, we feel kind of sorry for ourselves, like everybody around us has got a better life than us. They're making more money, they got a better house, and we're just tired of Chattanooga, tired of where we live, we're just bored, like the world's going by and leaving us behind. On a day like that, you need some excitement in your life, a spark to your day. You listen to what I'm telling you, and I wouldn't lead you wrong. You try this sometime. It is against the law to go through a red light. It is not against the law to stop on green. I do that every once in a while. Oh, it's chaos. See, they didn't think anybody would ever do it. There's no law on the books. The policeman's going to pull you over and he's going to say, hey, you stopped on green. And you can say, yeah, I know. Have a good day. You ever heard somebody say this? I'm out of work, I don't have any money, I can't go anywhere, but I still like to see other people have a good time. Liars, liars, liars. I'm going to be honest with you, if I'm miserable, I'm going to mess up somebody's life. Here's what you can do. If you're not working, all you're doing is watching television. So anytime, Monday through Friday, right at lunchtime, when McDonald's is the busiest, go through their drive-in window, order a bunch of stuff, then pretend your car won't start. Just sit there and block the window. Sometimes you'll have cars lined up a half mile, and every one of them's got to be back to work in 30 minutes, except you. And you ain't got diddly squat today. Just get out and sit on the hood. Wave at them. You can talk to them if you want to. You can say things like, how long y'all get for lunch? Speaking of sitting on the front porch, I came up with this theory a few months ago. There's been so much talk in recent years about the moral breakdown in American society, the family unit falling apart, and the violence among the small children. It used to be that way, and it's that way now. So why is that? And they've analyzed this thing to death. Here's what happened. We made a mistake in this country years ago when we quit building houses with front porches on them. When everybody had a front porch, it was all more civilized. Get there after supper, sit around, talk, sometimes just grunt. Like, ah, damn. I ain't gonna never eat cooked cabbage again. And remember how you used to wave? Everybody that drove by, you go. Somebody go, who was that? You go, hell, I don't know. Well, you waved. Well, I didn't want them to think we was uppity. And remember how you could gossip about everybody that drove down the highway? Somebody goes flying, you go, there goes that David Jackson, driving like a bat out of hell. Got a brand new car. How'd you get a new car? He ain't got no job. I'll bet you his daddy co-signed. He co-signs for all them kids. That's how come they didn't turn out to be worth a damn. But see, you can't do that no more. You know why? Ain't nobody got a porch. Everybody's got a damn deck. You can't raise a family out back on a deck. We need a porch like they had in Mayberry with Andy, Opie, and Barney out there. If they'd had a deck, Opie would be on drugs right now. And look at this thing. Look at this thing about neighborhood crime. We're all paralyzed by neighborhood crime. There's no neighborhood crime. When I was little, you know why? Everybody's out on that porch. If the American people are so brave this day, here's how we conquer neighborhood crime. We all join the Neighborhood Watch program. Put that little plaque in our subdivision. This neighborhood part of Neighborhood Watch. Ah, damn. Man, that's going to scare them off, ain't it? Some mass murderer head in your subdivision, see that plaque? Damn, they got a plaque. Here's how the Neighborhood Watch program works. Somebody goes, all right, it's your turn. This week it's your turn. You be on the lookout. If you see anybody strange in the subdivision, you get on the phone. You call everybody else. We'll be out back on the deck. You call us. Now, here's why there's no neighborhood crime when I was little. I remember being out on the front porch with my dad and my little brother. Some guy would be walking down the road, and my dad would go, wonder who that man is walking down the road right there. My little brother said, I don't know, Daddy, I don't know him. My dad would go, he can walk down the road all he wants to. But he better not come in my damn yard. Well, see, you don't know that now. You know why? You're out back on the deck. The deck. You can't see nothing back there on that deck. And do you remember when the word porch used to be part of our vocabulary? Like somebody would say, you know, I had a glass of lemonade sitting somewhere. I bet you left that on the porch. Where'd I put that hammer? Look on the porch. Or somebody might say, what'd y'all do with that old refrigerator? We just sat on the front porch. You know, if I could be serious for a moment. You know, you hear people say all the time that we Americans aren't as civilized as we used to be, not as humane as we once were. After all these years that have gone by, half the people blame that on Vietnam, the other half blame it on Watergate. I blame the whole situation on Colonel Sanders. And I know you're sitting there and you're saying, I hope he explains that. I will, that's my job. You realize before Colonel Sanders came along, the only thing that ate dinner out of a bucket was a hog? Now he's got everybody doing it. Let's say you go down to the Kentucky Fried Store. They're waiting on the man in front of you. He's about 5'8". He weighs 340 pounds. He can't hardly breathe. And I'm glad to see y'all find that funny. Yeah, man's gasping for air. Yeah, we'll laugh at that. You're my kind of people. Now, you know how they got the menu on the wall over the counter? All this man can do is breathe and point. Like, and the girl says, can I help you? I feel so stupid doing this. At this point in the show every night, you know what thought goes through my mind? James, why don't you just go get a job? It's too late. You know, I could have been a forklift operator. I could. My dad was, and his dad before him. When I got out of high school, my dad could have got me on down there at the plant where he works, just like that. But did I take it? No. I want a bucket of chicken. And then the girl says something ridiculous like, how do you want that cooked? You want original, extra crispy, or what? Trust me, people, this man don't care. She could spit in there, he don't care. Give him a live chicken, he'll kill it. She's talking to a human being that's about to eat a bucket of food. This right here, folks, is the day that I learned the reality of how dangerous a plane can be. I learned this in the Bahamas. They have the planes that just go island to island, very short trip, like a 20-minute trip. And they actually look like crop dusters more than anything. They got one propeller. They only seat about 8 people, 10 at the most. And they have to know the weight of everything that goes on board the aircraft before the plane can take off. And I had never been through that before. And a guy coming to me with a clipboard in his hand, he said, sir, how much do you weigh? I said, why do you need to know? He said, so we'll know how much fuel to put in. I said, fill it up. I feel it now. I weigh 600 damn pounds. Feel it? Well, you had to die in a plane crash because some fat woman lied about her weight. And hell, they'll do it too. Like, well, I'd just soon be dead. Just tell him how much I weigh. You know? And you all know now, this is true. Look, we respond to every tragedy in life with food. A covered dish. We'll knock on somebody's front door and go, sorry to hear about your son-in-law. Here's some baked beans. And by the way, and speaking of a covered dish, you ever notice how people will spend more time talking about the food and who brought which dish than they do the poor fellow who died? Here's this guy, he hasn't even been buried yet. But all the conversation is going like this. Well, I see Elizabeth brought that macaroni salad. I knew she'd do this. I guarantee you one thing, if it had been somebody on her side of the family, she'd have brought some kind of meat. When my cousin died, now we're talking about my side of the family, he's the one who drilled himself to death. Hey, lady, this ain't funny. What happened was he had this high-powered Black & Decker drill, and he was going to put the screw back in his cowboy belt buckle. I told him, I said, I think I'll take that belt off first. He said, don't tell me how to use my drill. I said, okie dokie. He gets about halfway through and sneezes. Anyway, when he died, that being my side of the family, guess what she showed up with? 11 deviled eggs. Now, who in the world makes an odd number of deviled eggs? We think she ate one on the way over here. But here's the way the Baptists do it. The moment we hear someone has been admitted into the hospital, we go grocery shopping. When we hear they have been moved into intensive care, we start cooking. And if they should get better, we'll just freeze it.
Your humor plays right into that, talking about one of the great American pastimes, and that is family and friends just hanging out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we don't have enough of that anymore, I don't think.
Socialize.
You know? Yeah.
Fellowship.
Yeah.
Eating.
I mean, you don't have to be real old. You can be in your 20s or early 30s, and you're still old enough to remember when people could actually sit around and talk without a cell phone glued to the ear.
And it's very hard to tell.
Cell phones are kind of new in society, basically about a decade, really.
Yeah. Well, it dawned on me. I was talking with a friend of mine this past weekend, and we were headed outdoors to go hang out, and he was talking about something happened sometime, and he was just in college, and he's in his early 40s. Right. And he said, and they had to try to find me. They just called the phone of a friend where I was over at his house because we didn't have cell phones. And I thought, wow.
Yeah, that's odd. You're you, So so I don't tolerate that much. In other words, like you see them in restaurants. Mm-hmm. People go out as a family to eat. there's 5 members of a family sitting there, 4 of them on the cell phone talking during dinner. You see people eating with one hand, talking with the other, and I'm thinking, what phone call could be that important? What's really that important?
Right. And that mamas had changed because my mama wouldn't tolerate a hat.
Oh, not us either.
Singing. I don't know where that one came from. I said, now who declared we can't sing? In some reason, there was some rule. Did you have that in your family?
Oh, yeah. You don't sing at the table.
You don't sing.
You go to the table to eat and you talk.
Because you have to open your mouth.
I can remember being at the supper table and the phone ringing. Of course, you don't have to get up to answer it. My dad wouldn't let us.
Yeah, we do that now.
Yeah.
What do you do? What would he do?
Just give us that look. Remember, there's no voicemail then, no answer machines. Yeah.
No caller ID.
Yeah, hell, they'll call back. And now you see people where but really, that's what
Yeah.
What's wrong with it? But you know what?
And that's the way I still am, Like, my cell phone's in the car. I never take my cell phone. I don't take my cell phone in buildings.
I text one time in front of James.
I would never take my
bad. Yeah.
Texting, don't get me started on that.
Yeah, he threw it right in the potatoes.
I have a very cool, hard stance on texting.
Right.
Every time I read in the paper, hear on the news where these single car accidents, where they were texting,
ran
off the road, hit a tree, and died. I'm so glad they're dead.
James.
I am.
James Gregory. And I say
really,
we're off to a blistering pace today.
No, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
You're saying only single car accidents.
Because sometimes you cross the median to hit an innocent person.
Yeah, and you're not for that.
No, but see, I tell you why I'm glad they're gone. They're out of my way for one thing. Number 2 is if these idiots who text and drive,
I don't know why anybody would do that.
If they do that on a regular basis, tomorrow they could cross the line and hit my sister.
Yeah.
Tomorrow they could cross the line and hit my nephew and niece or the people I love.
I agree.
So if they go ahead and die today, I'm okay with that.
But that's the reason why I've never understood why we're having to have a law about people texting and driving. How can there be people that think they should text and drive?
Well, they're just idiots. See, that's one thing you can't legislate.
You know what happens now when a teenager kills 4 people? We say, bless his heart. You know why he did that? No role model. He should have had a role model. And who does the media of today define as role models? River Phoenix, remember him? River Phoenix, Kurt Cobain. Remember him? Called them role models. The tragedy of the kids lost a role model. God help us. John Wayne was a role model. And John Wayne's mama didn't eat no yogurt. She ate red-eye gravy. And when she had a baby, out popped John Wayne. And then we switched. We got scared of a loaded baked potato with butter and sour cream. We all switched to rice pilaf. Started going into a restaurant and ordering a salad and a fruit cup. And who have we ended up with now? Michael Jackson and Pee Wee Herman. I say case closed. By the way, speaking of Michael Jackson, of course, when I first heard he was married to Lisa Marie, I said, at least we know for sure now that Elvis is dead. It's only been about 18 months ago that Michael paid off that 13-year-old boy out of court settlement, $12 million, on the sexual allegation charge. Now, Michael admits that he slept with that little boy, but he said it was like a slumber party. Nothing happened. I believe him on that. Well, I know the night that I spent with him. I swear he never touched me. He didn't even act like he wanted to. I mean, hell, go figure, But I can tell you this. If Michael would give me $12 million, he could sit on my face. And I'd learn to love it. Michael, I'm home. I tell you what, you pay close attention and see if this right here for most of you out there tonight, see if this don't bring back some precious, fond childhood memories to you about your mother and that covered dish. You think back a long time ago now when you was like, oh, just yay big. It'd be late in the evening, early nighttime. Everybody's out on the front porch after supper, about half asleep. Pot roast to do that to you. Remember, those were the good old days in America where a mother forced the kids to overeat. Made them eat. All right, y'all don't eat all that pot roast. I ain't going to make another one. Well, hell. Do you remember this? Remember as a little kid, we'd all be sitting on the doorsteps, the kid would. All the grown folks could spend an hour discussing among themselves the last time it came a good rain. To a small kid, that never made no sense. But we couldn't say nothing back in those days. You couldn't back talk your folks. But they'd be sitting on the front porch, somebody go, boy, we sure could use a good rain. Hell, it ain't rained real good since that last Friday in May. Somebody's going, no, hell, this rained since then. No, I'll tell you how I know. They're Friday for Memorial Day. Memorial Day is last Monday in May. Friday before that, my car broke down on I-20. Had to walk 3 miles to the payphone. I got soaked. Last damn Friday in May. So I said, no, I'll tell you what. It rained the second Saturday in June. Reason you don't know, you was in jail that weekend. Then he said, well, that wasn't my fault. If y'all got a bondsman, I could have got out there on Friday. Then somebody else will say, well, anyway, we need rain. Well, yeah, I didn't say we didn't need no rain. And in our little hearts as children, we were sitting on the doorstep thinking to ourselves, who gives a rat's ass when it rains? And listen, think about this. Department stores are practicing medicine for almost 20 years. We think it's all right. Let's say you go over to Sears and Roebuck just to look around. And by the way, if you notice, that's what we all do at Sears now. Nobody buys anything over there. Well, you're off this afternoon. What you gonna do? Well, I'll tell you. I think I'll go over to Sears and look around. All right. You're over at Sears. You're in the lower level, the basement. That's the hardware department. All you're doing is checking out what's new with Black & Decker. You ain't gonna buy nothing, you just look at it. Now you get ready to leave. You go around the lawnmowers. Well, let me interrupt this a minute. Lawnmowers. On every lawnmower you've ever seen, not a sticker, not a label, embedded, molded into steel so you can't ever erase it. It says, keep hands and feet away from blade. You know what that means? Sometime in the past, some nut has said to his wife, honey, come here, let's trim them toenails of yours. Anyway. All right, now, you're leaving Sears, you're headed toward the, oh, listen. You know what else you do while you're there? You always take time to look at that 72-drawer tool chest. Every Sears store has one. They've never sold the darn thing. Nobody wants it. It weighs a ton and a half. Where would you put it? They put it on sale twice a year. Nobody buys it. I grew up going with my daddy to look at that. He'd sit in the Sunday morning paper. He'd say, look at him, Junior. That was me. I see Sears has got that 72-drawer tool chest on sale again. You want to go over there after dinner and look at it? I'd say, yeah, I'll go with you over there. See, I guess that that's what's really wrong with this country today. Sons don't go with their dads to look at toolboxes no more. I bet you that there's some of you in here that never went with your daddy to look at paneling. See? My dad didn't need no paneling. He just liked to look at it. He'd sit in the paper on Sunday morning. He'd say, "Look at here, Junior." I see they got that paneling on sale again. You ought to go over there and look at it. I'd say, "Yeah, I go with you over there." Anyway. And I'll tell you something else, too. I'm going to see my dad again Monday. If he wants to go look at something else, hell, I'm going to go with him. You ain't got but one daddy, you know. All right, now, we're still in that Sears store, ain't we? We got to move along. Now, all right, you're leaving Sears, headed toward the door. On your way out, you bump into an optometrist. Listen to me, there's an eye doctor working in the basement of Sears. Don't you know that his mom and dad are real proud of him? Think about his parents. They're the ones that mortgaged the house, cashed up the life insurance to educate this twerp, hoping someday to brag on him. "Hey, George, that son of yours, the one went to college for 13 years. Where's he working now?" Sears. This right here, this right here is what got me really afraid to fly. If you go to the Bahamas, any of those islands in that area, they have these little commuter planes. Not like Delta's commuters. These things actually look like crop dusters. One propeller, they hold about 8 people, 10 at the most, and they have to know the weight of everything that goes on board the aircraft. And I had never been through that before. And the guy came up to me with a clipboard in his hand. He said, "Sir, how much do you weigh?" I said, "Why do you need to know?" He said, "So we'll know how much fuel to put in." I said, "Fill it up." I'll buy, fill it up. I weigh 600 damn pounds, fill it up. Wouldn't you hate to die in a plane crash because some fat woman lied about her weight? And hell, you know, they'll do it too. Like, well, I'd rather be dead and tell them how much I weigh, you know. Tell you about the first pooper scooper law in America. Then I'll show you very quickly how that makes me think of my dad. First pooper scooper law was in Massachusetts. And here's what happened. There's this young couple lived next to an older man, and he had a Doberman. And every morning he'd take that Doberman out for a walk. And it would relieve itself. Well, just really. Right there on the sidewalk, there's this young couple's mailbox. Every time they went out to get the paper or the mail, they step in dog shit. And then being a modern couple, and him a sensitive male, a young sensitive male, he started whining to the city council. Just whining. "My neighbor's dog is in my yard. Please pass a law. Could you pass a law and help us? Could you help us?" 2 years later, we had the first pooper scooper law in America. But here's the point to the story. For 24 long months, while this young couple was waiting for somebody to pass a law, They had to walk around dog just to get the mail. 2 years. You know what my daddy would have done? You know what my daddy would have done? He'd have gone next door and told that man that dead dogs don't. You said, Mama, who was that? That was Cecil. His daddy died today. Yeah, the way he tells it, and we always say that, the way he tells it, like he might be making this up. The way he tells it, his daddy had been outside cutting grass. Well, ever since they bought that riding mower, hell, he cut grass every damn day. He just got there and ride. Well, you know, they bought him that riding mower last summer after he cut off 3 toes on his right foot. That was him being damn bullheaded. You know the mower where it says keep hands and feet away from blade? He said, it's my damn mower. They can't tell me what to do. Well, anyway, listen. So Cecil and the other kids went in together, and they bought him this riding mower. I told them when they bought that mower, I said, look, that man's 82 years old. He don't need no damn 12 horsepower. But they wouldn't listen. Sears had that damn sale going on. Nothing down, no payments till April. They said, we'll just add that to what we already owe. Well, you know, when he turned 80, they took away his weed eater. He was chasing bumblebees with it. Well, you know, he wore those real thick bifocals, remember that? He wore bifocals. So when he would look up like that right there, look up, that bumblebee like a buzzard to him. And then, of course, when he would look down like that right there, look down, he was so proud. Trouble was, his wife didn't wear bifocals. Well, anyway, they get this big mower, and sure enough, he was riding that damn mower to the mall. Had a handicap sticker. We know he had that bad foot and everything. Cutting through people's yards. Everybody had one mowed strip. And they were pissed. Well, anyway, he had no business cutting grass today. It was 98 degrees out there, and Cecil said, Daddy, you ought not cut grass today. You just cut it yesterday. He said, I know, but it might be raining tomorrow. Bless his heart, he thought cutting grass was just like a bowel movement. You ought to do it every day. Matter of fact, that's what he do, get up every morning and shit that mower.
They have some food for us down the hall. James Gregory, our comedian friend from Atlanta, every time I look down there in the food line, you are down there.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think I've gained 3 or 4 pounds in the past 2 days. Somebody asked me, they said, James, I think you're putting on weight. I said, well, I just had breakfast. Sometimes, it depends on what time of day you get back there. Sometimes I'm the only one eating the real food. At lunch yesterday, they had sugar-free bran muffins. I asked the lady, I said, are you kidding me? Sugar-free means it's not sweet. There's no vanilla chocolate frosting. There's no cream cheese in the middle. There's no jelly. That's what I used to call a rock, you know. I noticed, and I learned in traveling, when I do my comedy shows, there's always another comedian on the show with me. And it's usually a guy that's much younger. Like age-wise, he's a generation behind me. And I don't know where in the dickens these young guys, I don't know where their mother was. I mean, these guys were not raised right. I mean, they don't smoke. A lot of them don't even drink. I mean, ain't that odd? It's like working with little girls, really. I mean, we go out to lunch. I'm embarrassed to go to lunch with them. I wouldn't be embarrassed if they were women. These are grown men in a public restaurant, a 5-page menu, and what do they get? Tuna tomato. Tuna tomato. Or an $8 Caesar salad. You think about this now. It's 4 ounces of romaine lettuce. 4 ounces. And they go, it's just $7.95. Let's all get one. I'd get a whole bucket of chicken for $8. And everybody's in this health craze now. The political correctness is even taking over our eating habits. I'm just not going to jump on that bandwagon. I mean, I went to the doctor. I had a complete physical from head to toe in 1968. Why do I need a second opinion? I mean, and they'll make fun of my food because while they're sitting there grazing around their lunch, they just graze and interrogate the waiter. Was this butter? Is this margarine? Was this fried? Was this grilled? Come on, eat. Just eat. You know? While they're going through all that, I'm sitting there with chicken fried steak, extra gravy, mashed potatoes, extra gravy, a lot of cornbread, a lot of butter, and I mean real butter. None of that little wimpy stuff like, I can't believe it's not butter. Come on. And they also have, I can't believe it's not butter spray. It's a butter mist. I'm going to tell you all something. If your daughter is dating a guy who sprays his butter, there's not going to be any grandkids. I'm just telling you. I come from a background. My mother used to say that an empty stomach is the devil's playground. You know how some people say, I can't do so-and-so on an empty stomach. I can't do so-and-so on an empty stomach. My family, we can't eat on an empty stomach. If we're awake, we're eating, you know. But those young guys I just talked about, they'll make fun of me. They'll point at my food. And they'll go, you know what that greasy food's going to do to you? I'm like, yeah, fill me up. I have to eat that way. I need to maintain my strength. Because I'm usually one of the pallbearers. when my healthy friends drop dead working out. And we all know that does happen, you know. And we had a young fellow, a radio personality in Atlanta, Georgia. This was on the news. He worked at a radio station. He dropped dead. He was 31 years old, 31. And he was, after work, he'd go to the gym and he'd work out. He was trying to press weight X number of pounds and had a heart attack. And they talk about what a tragedy that was. I'm thinking, well, you know, come on. You're lifting heavy stuff after you've punched out. Who would do that? I'm off work, let me go lift something heavy. The reason I'm still kicking, because while he was doing that, I was laying on the couch watching Andy Griffith. Yeah. So you have to be careful. It's okay to take care of yourself, but don't get it. This is extreme physical fitness. I got a tour. I name every tour. And this one is exercise can kill you. It's on the news all the time. But you've heard stories about some fellow who will drop dead jogging. Drop dead jogging. Imagine that. He's got car payments of $300 a month. And the buffoon is out running. And I've never heard a single story about anybody dropping dead, eating banana pudding, watching TV. You know? My father passed away a few months ago, 76 years old. Every time somebody that age passes on, I bet you think this too sometime, I do. I start to think whether we will ever see the likes of that generation again. And I sure do have my doubts. That generation of Americans, even though they were the most uneducated of any of us, they had the most honor and dignity and self-respect and integrity and a thumbnail than the rest of the Americans got now in the whole damn body. See, you try to picture in your mind your mom and daddy or your grandmother or grandfather, and do you think how unheard of it would be for them to actually sit in the living room hoping that some local or federal official will help them take the gun away from their boy? Oh, God. They'd have smacked some kid. They'd have killed him himself. Now, I know it seems old-fashioned, but, you have to be reminded that that generation of Americans didn't raise crack addicts and drive-by shooters. They raised damn kids. So, we got all these new words now that ain't working. Therapy, counseling. Yeah, my daddy took me to counseling, all right. How about this? Bonded. Ain't that a new word? Bonded. It works like this. You're 35, your dad is 60. Have you bonded? Have you bonded? My father and I never bonded. We've posted bond for each other. Let me tell you guys something. And here's how you know whether you got a good relationship with your dad. Think back when you was like 16 or 17 and you was dating somebody you was wanting to impress, and you didn't want to drive your old piece of car on the date, so you kept begging your daddy to let you use his car. And you said, if you'll let me use your car, I won't drink. Liar, liar, liar. So he finally gives in and lets you use it. And you're almost home free. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. You dropped her off somewhere. Said, I'll be back. I'll get this car home. But just before you get home, the cops pull you over, take you in for driving under the influence, and tow your daddy's car. You're scared to death. You know your daddy is going to whoop your ass. You know he is. You've never been as scared in your whole life. You dread calling him. But even though you dread it and you're scared, it never occurs to you to call anybody else but your daddy. You tell the guys he's fingerprinting you down there, well, hurry up, I need to call my daddy. He'll come and get me. And here's what happens. Next thing you know, the years always go by quicker than we would like for them to, and you're 35 or 36. You got a family of your own. It's late Friday evening. You've mowed the grass. You got a cold beer in your hand. You settle down to watch a ball game, and the phone rings. And it's your dad. And his ass is in jail. He just beat the out of the UPS man. He had told that driver once before, if you back on my wife's flower bed one more time. If that was a time when the man did what the man said. So the UPS truck backed over her buttercups. Your dad's in jail. But as they're processing the paperwork, he tells them, well, hurry up. Need to call my boy, and he'll come and get me. There's bonding for you right there. Of course. This is going to remind you of somebody you know. If they're no longer with you, it'll bring back good memories to you. Maybe your favorite aunt, your grandmother. You're the ones that you saw. Well, if you didn't see them on Sunday, you'd see them on special occasions. You know, Christmas Day, Thanksgiving, somebody's birthday. The big, wide, fat, overweight relative. The one we love so much. Get up from the supper table. First of all, though, everybody else is already up from the table. They're in the living room. She's still in the kitchen. And she would just yell to the next room. I'll be there in a minute. I'm just going to get a biscuit and sop this up. That could be what's wrong with the country. A whole generation of Americans who've never heard the expression, sop it up. And then she come into the living room and flop down in the nearest chair, the first chair she came to. And to a little kid, it always looked like it was in slow motion. Because we always thought for sure the chair was going to break. She'd come in, she'd be like, oh, Lord. I ate more than I planned to. I think starting tomorrow, I'm gonna go on some kind of a diet. Well, no, I can't tomorrow. Hell, we're going to Cracker Barrel tomorrow. I don't know why meatloaf lays on my chest. Seems like it's right there. It won't go no further. Oh. Oh, I wish now I brought my gas pills. I didn't know you put onion in your meatloaf. Lord knows I can't eat cooked onions. Oh. You, I could have a hiatal hernia. If I knew my insurance would pay for it, I'd get me an MRI. Because sometimes the x-ray don't show everything on fat people. If y'all wait a few minutes, I'd help with those dishes. I just feel so lightheaded. I bet you my blood pressure's up. I had no business eating all that salt. Oh. But I'd just soon not have meatloaf. I can't put salt on it. Oh. I tried some of that no salt, but it just didn't taste like salt. That's probably why they call it no salt. Whew. Is it hot in here or is it just me? I swear I'm soaking wet. I hope it ain't my bladder. Oh, I'm stuck to the chair. If you go into the kitchen, cut me a piece of that cake. Just a little piece. I've cut way back on my sugar. I need to get up and walk around. I wish my feet weren't swollen. I don't know what causes that. I might be allergic to something. I hope it ain't bread. I don't believe I can eat without bread. Oh, I hope I feel better before supper. I'm good in mind to change doctors. The one I'm going to now ain't doing me no good. Of course, his scales just go to 300. So really, he don't know whether I lost weight or not. Don't throw that cornbread out. I'll take that home with me. Because Lord knows I don't feel like cooking. Everybody's got one person in their family or one close relative that is so stupid. It's the one you can't argue with. I tell you what, it's the same relative that keeps missing the 6 o'clock news because he don't know what time it comes up. I got an uncle that way. They did about my uncle. The bank called him up, told him that his account was overdrawn, so he mailed him a check. His dream in life is to own a 2-story mobile home. I told him, I said, Uncle Robert, there's no such thing. He says, well, they ought to be for people that's got money. Anyway, we was over at his house one night watching television. The Muppets had this TV special on. Miss Piggy come on the TV screen, and my uncle said, I bet you that's not a real pig, I just bet it ain't. I mean, I don't care how many degrees you got hanging on the wall, you can't argue with that idiot. Well, Uncle Robert, I believe you're right about that. Well, heck yeah, I'm right. Let me tell you something. I've been around pigs all my life. I will say this. From the neck up, the whole head. That looks authentic. But a real pig wouldn't wear a dress like that. He's the kind of guy that brags on his dog all the time. You ever heard somebody say this when they're bragging on their dog? They'll say, he don't know he's a dog. He don't. He thinks he's one of us. I tell him, I say, you paid $100 for that puppy. Get your money back. He's got brain damage. If he don't know he's a dog, he's going to spend his whole life running around wondering to himself, why am I barking? And hell, they just... But I tell you what, folks, at least in this part of the country, the Midwest, the Southeast, see, we have to deal with the very worst Mother Nature can throw at the human race. See, on the West Coast, California, they don't have tornadoes, and they don't have hurricanes. That's just on this coast. Tornadoes occur in the Midwest, the Southeast. New England, like Vermont, Rhode Island, they don't have tornadoes. You've heard the expression, it's biblical, and your mother has said it, you've heard it. God never gives us more, or puts more on us than we can handle. That's how come he sends that stuff to us. He would never send a tornado to damn California. Hell, they just couldn't deal with it. That's why all they get out there is what I call silly weather, limp-wristed weather. Like mudslide, mud, it's damn mud. Where else in America would mud be a natural disaster? Down here, we put big wheels on something and get out and play it. Speaking of sitting on the front porch, I came up with this theory a few months ago. There's been so much talk in recent years about the moral breakdown in American society, the family unit falling apart, and the violence among the small children. It used to be that way, and it's that way now. So why is that? And they've analyzed this thing to death. Here's what happened. We made a mistake in this country years ago when we quit building houses with front porches on them. When everybody had a front porch, it was all more civilized. Get there after supper, sit around, talk, sometimes just grunt. Like, damn. I ain't gonna never eat cooked cabbage again. And remember how you used to wave? Everybody that drove by, you go. Somebody go, who was that? You go, hell, I don't know. Well, you waved. Well, I didn't want them to think we was uppity. And remember how you could gossip about everybody that drove down the highway? Somebody goes flying, you go, there goes that David Jackson, driving like a bat out of hell. Got a brand new car. How did he get a new car? He ain't got no job. I'll bet you his daddy co-signed. He co-signs for all them kids. That's how come they didn't turn out to be worth a damn. Well, see, you can't do that no more. You know why? Ain't nobody got a porch. Everybody's got a damn deck. You can't raise a family out back on a deck. We need a porch like they had in Mayberry with Andy, Opie, and Barney out there. If they'd had a deck, Opie would be on drugs right now. And look at this thing. Look at this thing about neighborhood crime. We're all paralyzed by neighborhood crime. There's no neighborhood crime. When I was little, you know why? Everybody's out on that porch. If the American people are so brave this day, here's how we conquer neighborhood crime. We all join the Neighborhood Watch program. Put that little plaque in our subdivision. This neighborhood part of Neighborhood Watch. Damn. Man, that's going to scare them off, ain't it? Some mass murderer head in your subdivision, see that plaque? Damn, they got a plaque! Here's how the Neighborhood Watch program works. Somebody goes, all right, it's your turn. This week it's your turn. You be on the lookout. If you see anybody strange in the subdivision, you get on the phone. You call everybody else. We'll be out back on the deck. You call us. Now, here's why there's no neighborhood crime when I was little. I remember being out on the front porch with my dad and my little brother. Some guy would be walking down the road, and my dad would go, wonder who that man is walking down the road right there. My little brother said, I don't know, Daddy, I don't know him. My dad would go, he can walk down the road all he wants to. But he better not come in my damn yard. Well, see, you don't know that now. You know why? You're out back on the deck. The deck. You can't see nothing back there on that deck. And do you remember when the word porch used to be part of our vocabulary? Like somebody would say, you know, I had a glass of lemonade sitting somewhere. I bet you left that on the porch. Where'd I put that hammer? Look on the porch. Or somebody might say, what'd y'all do with that old refrigerator? We just sat on the front porch. You said, Mama, who was that? That was Cecil. His daddy died today. Yeah, the way he tells it, and we always say that, the way he tells it, like he might be making this up. The way he tells it, his daddy had been outside cutting grass. Well, ever since they bought that riding mower, hell, he cut grass every damn day. He just got there and ride. Well, you know, they bought him that riding mower last summer after he cut off 3 toes on his right foot. That was him being damn bullheaded. You know the mower where it says keep hands and feet away from blade? He said, it's my damn mower. They can't tell me what to do. Well, anyway, listen. So Cecil and the other kids went in together, and they bought him this riding mower. I told them when they bought that mower, I said, look, that man's 82 years old. He don't need no damn 12 horsepower. But they wouldn't listen. Sears had that damn sale going on. Nothing down, no payments till April. They said, we'll just add that to what we already owe. Well, you know, listen, you know, when he turned 80, they took away his weed eater. He was chasing bumblebees with it. Well, you know, remember, he wore those real thick bifocals, remember that? He wore bifocals. So when he would look up like that right there, look up. That bumblebee like a buzzard to him. And then, of course, when he would look down like that right there, look down. He was so proud. Trouble was, his wife didn't wear bifocals. Well, anyway, they get this big mower, and sure enough, he was riding that damn mower to the mall. Had a handicap sticker. We know he had that bad foot and everything. Cutting through people's yards. Everybody had one mowed strip. And they were pissed. Well, anyway, he had no business cutting grass today. It was 98 degrees out there, and Cecil said, Daddy, you ought not cut grass today. You just cut it yesterday. He said, I know, but it might be raining tomorrow. Bless his heart, he thought cutting grass was just like a bowel movement. You ought to do it every day. Matter of fact, that's what he do, get up every morning and shit that mower. Well, and hell, they just wait on it. But I tell you what, folks, at least in this part of the country, the Midwest, the Southeast, see, we have to deal with the very worst Mother Nature can throw at the human race. See, on the West Coast, California, they don't have tornadoes, and they don't have hurricanes. That's just on this coast. Tornadoes occur in the Midwest, the Southeast. New England, like Vermont, Rhode Island, they don't have tornadoes. You've heard the expression, it's biblical, and your mother has said it. You've heard it. God never gives us more, or puts more on us than we can handle. That's how come he sends that stuff to us. He would never send a tornado to damn California. Hell, they just couldn't deal with it. That's why all they get, that's what I call silly weather, limp-wristed weather. Like mud's like mud, it's damn mud. Where else in America would mud be a natural disaster? Down here, we put big wheels on something and get out and play it. And as you hear these Democrats and Republicans debate both sides of everything, and your minister even, or your governor and mayor and all like this, trying to figure out how come the kids are out of control and they used to didn't be that way and what can we do? Here's what happened. I'm going to act it out for you. Let's go back to a time when I was 13, or you, even as young as you are. Say I was 13. And I get up in the morning, walking down in the kitchen area, my father, we were sitting at the breakfast table, my fat-ass father, in his boxer shorts. He'd be burping or belching. There'd be so much cigar smoke in there you couldn't see, like fog. There's so much cigar smoke. On my father's breakfast plate in front of him would be a small fried pig. Pork, damn it, pork, fried pork. That's what's wrong with this country now. We've got a whole generation of Americans who have never heard the expression, sop it up. So you have that greasy breakfast, a lot of bread, white bread. You hear me? Damn white bread. Manly white bread. White bread. None of that modern day, all natural, multi-grain, dark brown, looks like a wad of dog bread. No. He had white bread and butter, real damn butter. His daddy ate butter, his granddaddy ate butter, and by God, he ate butter. None of this, I can't believe it's not butter. And guess what they got for some of you young guys now? You young guys, those of you who go over to Applebee's or TGIF Fridays and pay $7.95 for their stir fry. You know what stir fry is? Cauliflower, carrots, and broccoli. Same shit my daddy used to give to the hogs. They steam it in olive oil, charge you $8 damn. Not only are you a wuss, you're a dumbass. Guess what they got for you guys now? Not only do they have, I can't believe it's not butter, they got, I can't believe it's not butter spray. Have you seen their commercial? They got butter spray now. Squirt. I'm going to tell y'all something. You can tell the world that I said so. If I ever see a young guy squirting butter, squirt, I'm going to ask him out on a date. I think he'll go. I think I'll enjoy it. Eat like a woman, act like a woman. And my daddy would be eating a jar of jelly, a whole jar of jelly. None of this modern day $7 a pint, all natural fruit spread. My daddy had sugary, teeth rotting damn jelly. 49 cents a gallon. But anyway, here's the point. When he would catch a glimpse of me out of the corner of his eye, coming out of the bedroom, my daddy would start talking to me without even looking up from the plate. He said, boy, don't you even look in the kitchen because you're not going to eat this morning. You should have got your butt out of bed when your mother started calling you an hour ago. Now, why don't you grab those school books and get out by the highway and wait on the bus? Because if you miss school one more time, you ain't going to live to be 13.